Let's actually take a look at that survey. I think this is a good opportunity for the survey part. Let's go and take a look at that bad boy. Let me put this up because I have to switch. Floating in a giant glass thing artifact. Wow, okay. That's cool. Okay. So hopefully my information actually won't show up, and if it does, I'll be really mad. Let me actually record this. I think this will be a good thing to record. Might be something stupid and fun. All right, guys, we're going to do the DCUO online survey. Yay, thank you for taking time to answer the survey. Your feedback helps us tremendously. MEPS, DCUO Senior Community Manager. Makes me wonder who else the other community managers are if he's the senior, right? Right. So let's take a gander at this, and actually, you guys are going to see me fill it out the whole way. So first off, do you approve or disapprove of the way the DC Universe Online development team is developing the game? It's a loaded question because I can only imagine everybody's hitting disapprove because everybody has their suggestions, have their feedback, and when their specific feedback and suggestions aren't answered or followed through, then it seems like a disappointment because that's their expectation. And again, it's a loaded question because I don't even know if anyone. It's a gray area, exactly, Echelon. It's a gray area, because literally because of that light. So I have to see if it is the dev team developing the game, and how I see it right now, which of course everybody's going to definitely say disapprove. If I hit disapprove, it's going to say no. It's not even going to let me shoot I guess a box or something. I'm going to say disapprove. And the reason I'm going to say disapprove is because of the artifact system, is because of the monetization. And even saying that out loud, it might not even be the dev team that makes that decision for the artifact monetization. It literally could be accounting. It literally could be someone else. But that's my disapproval is I don't like the monetization in the game. I don't like the allies being monetized because the allies monetization when it launched was exactly the pay to win fear that I was afraid of for the game. And it brought that fear to life. And they made it a little bit better by adding those legendaries to the cyborg vendor so we could buy it for source marks, but it's still there. It still has the same horrible leveling experience that the artifacts have, where you almost feel punished by leveling artifacts and allies in the game, and you're rewarded if you open your money. That is actually what the game feels like right now. So I'm going to put disapprove. And that really is my reason why. It's because of the monetization of the game. How likely is that you will recommend DC Universe Online to a friend or colleague? I mean, honestly, it's an 8. I can go with an 8. I really can. And even for that reason, it could definitely be a 6 or a 7, but I still recommend the game because even with the ally and artifact issues, the game is now free to play. This is how my free to play mentality sees it, is all the content is playable now. The omnibus system, I love it because it allows me to even play my alts and just blow through and skyrocket the stuff. As I'm also now learning that the omnibus, because I do it so much, I'm missing out on the content. I'm missing out on the open world episodes that they are, because my time is literally just spent in the queue, and then it pops and I'm gone. And I'm in different tiers and everything. So the more, of course, the higher your CR gets, the more content you'll be able to play. But I am missing out on the journal stuff. I'm missing out on the open world. And that's because for me, I rather just spend my time in the omnibus, no loot locks, and just have myself a time. But even on my streams, everybody comes in here and it's like, wow, DCO is still going? It's like, yeah, come on back. Please come and play it. It's the things that you will find hindering, like the artifacts and allies, don't really happen until you get to the current in-game, until you get to the latest episode. By leveling my alts by leveling my all through the CR system just with the gear. I'm leveling my artifacts and my allies with me. And it's a different experience than if I'm at in-game and having to level them. It's two different experiences, and I really hope players understand that. Because while you're leveling your artifacts with you. At in-game, you are having to level them outside of your normal parameters of playing. And you're at in-game. You want these artifacts now. You want them to work now. You want the buffs now. While someone leveling up, they have the grind. They are like, okay, well, we can easily get up there. And by the time I'm at in-game, my artifacts would be where I want them or close to it. So that's the mentality that we have here is we have a leveling experience and then we have the in-game experience when it comes to the leveling these items. But honestly, yes, I will always recommend DCUO for all the players until it gets to the point that I really just stop. All right, so you can't see it, but I need to move my box. It shows my information. Haha. Oh, it's probably gonna do it anyways. I don't care. So you guys might see my personal email address. Actually, I can just do this. Boop. Ah, damn it. Whatever. Episodes. Whatever. Episodes and content. How would you rate your enjoyment playing episode 42, Legion of Doom? It's unenjoyable. I'm not going to say highly unenjoyable, but it's just unenjoyable. And the reason with episode 42 really is, just like with every other episode, it's you get in, there's no progression. You get in, you knock out your dailies, you knock out your raid if you have to do it for the rest of the week, and then it just becomes a grind fest of the bosses. There's no substance in the episodes anymore. So with episode 42, with Legion of Doom here, I'm finding it enjoyable. And my reason for finding it enjoyable is because of the story. I can't fucking but in the game, it doesn't give us this reason why Sinestro became an Ultra Lantern. And everyone in this chat, everyone in the comments can literally tell me why. And that's because they probably read the book. They probably read the comics. I'm not going to read the comics. I have no purpose right now to read the comics. One, I can't fucking afford them. And two, I just don't want to read right now. I just don't. But they don't explain it in the game. And if they can't explain it in the game, then it's hidden, it's missing the mark. It's putting a plot hole in. And this isn't the first episode that put those plot holes in. There hasn't been for a while. They keep doing cookie car episodes, rinse and repeat. I mean, absolutely. Absolutely, dog. It's just been cookie car for the longest. And sometimes you can get around it and almost not even see it. But we've been here long enough that we see what's going on. And that's why people like take breaks, like myself. That's why people leave the game entirely and maybe just come back every once in a while, because it's just that rinse and repeat format. There's no sense of progression. There's no sense of progression. The briefings and investigations, they help with the plot, but I need it experienced. I am a person who also plays the game muted. I don't have the game. I have the game going, but I don't have my speakers on. Because I'm usually, if I'm not streaming, I'm watching TV. So, like, hearing Luther do his spiel, I'm not listening to it. And I'm barely reading it on the subtitles, because the subtitles they're flaky. The subtitles are very flaky. So, I need to experience it. I need it animated in the game. I shouldn't have to go to a briefing and the briefing gives me the major plot of Sinestro becoming an Ultra Lantern. That's not what the briefing should be. The briefing should be definitely enhancing the story. Should give a little bit more of the background, but it shouldn't give me a major plot device of Sinestro now has a new color and a whole new power. How would you rate your enjoyment playing episode 41, House of Legends? Enjoyable. Actually, honestly, I'll even put highly enjoyable. Now, even episode 41, I want to make sure I preface this. It wasn't Save the Universe that made episode 41, House of Legends, enjoyable for me. It was not Save the Universe. Not saying anything is wrong with it, but again, some of the content that was given, it's like, fuck, Power Core? You had to give us Power Core? Damn. But it was the changes. It was the features that came with House of Legends. We had House of Legends as a new base for heroes and villains. And it's a new headquarters. We had the omnibus changes. We had allies, even though we didn't ask for it and we didn't want it, but we got it, and it's okay, but the monetization really killed it for me. But it really was the features that made House of Legends enjoyable. It was well done. How'd you rate enjoyment for playing episode 40? Flashpoint. Actually, I liked Flashpoint. I really did. That was some good stuff. I really did like it. Fighting Doomsday again was pretty fun. The Paradox invasion really was a cool thing to do as well. I liked the generals. I did like the general fight. That other bounty thing. I did like that. And then the instances. Yeah, I really liked the story and what World of Flashpoint did. I really did. And again, that's where another World of Flashpoint didn't really have too many plot holes and didn't make me question anything like it did in Legion of Doom. But Flashpoint, that was pretty well done. How would you rate your interest in the Wondrous time capsule? Okay. All right. Come on now. This 3 out of 9 pages. We're going to be here forever, guys. We're going to be here forever. The Wondrous time capsule is, first off, it's a fucking time capsule. No one likes them. No one wants them, but here we are. The styles for the Wondrous time capsule are pretty hot. The materials and the chromas, I mean, they're pretty cool. I do like the scale material, even the scale chroma. I'm never going to get it until it comes onto the Booster Gold vendor, so I'm going to have to wait a year or two, but I'll get it when I get that, which again, turn the corks into a secondary currency that I can buy on the marketplace and just let me buy stuff directly on the time capsule vendor. Let me have the choice of either RNG now or buy it from the vendor now. Not RNG now or vendor later. I don't want vendor later. I want vendor now. But anyways, I'm giving it a 2 out of 4. I'm giving it a 2. And let me tell you why. When I opened my Wondrous time capsules, I was shocked to see, not really shocked to see, but I was a little shocked about the allies. So we have ally favor and the alliances now added to the time capsule. Those are the reasons why I could buy the Wondrous time capsules. That would be why. The ally favor in there is bigly. It is huge. I love it. The alliance is in there. Bigly. Huge. Love it. And I hate that I have to spend money to get the high amount of XP and items needed to level PvE items. It's terrible. Marvel devs. Hey, listen. I know you guys are across the hall from DCUO, probably even across the cubicle. Don't do this shit. Do not pull this shit. I don't care how much money it brings in. You gotta look at enjoyment over money. I'm sorry. It just has to be. Stop it. Don't do it. But no, I open my time capsules. I open the Wondrous so I can get ally favor, so I can get the alliances. Nth metal doesn't even matter in there anymore. Like, it's whatever. Like, I'm there for the ally favor. I'm there for the alliances. I got fucking stacks on stacks. I was like, wow, I was blown away. Wow. But I hate that I have to open my wallet again to get this fucking shit. Because the end game is not rewarding. It isn't rewarding enough. And I have to stress that. It is not rewarding enough by playing the game that you have to open your wallet to find that enjoyment. And it sucks. So you get a 2. Wondrous capsule, you get a 2. There. Power sets. How would you describe your main character's power sets in terms of balance? They are asking the hard questions today, aren't they? Wow. And yes, we will have a 2021 year in review Probably next week. We will have that, James. Let's see. The Nintendo and TCs are the ones they took out. So if you are low on space, they don't stack with the ones you already have. That is correct. That was like the one only way you could get flawless now is in the time capsules, or even in booster bundles technically. But now they gave it to us in the data reward or reward logins, and it's like cool, but it's still shitty. Describe my main character's power set in terms of balance. This is first off, this is a good question because everybody's going to play different powers, and I play Rage, and for me in Rage, I feel like I'm still not balanced in that terms of I'm Rage, so my melee build is fine. My range build is terrible. Range is still awful. It just is. But Rage is built to be melee, so it's like, is that the balance to it, or what? So I'm gonna give it a 3. I'm gonna give it a 3, not a full 4. I'm gonna give it a 3. But this is also a loaded question because players who are answering this, I need you guys to understand, if you're answering this question, you need to look at it as your power set. Don't look at the artifacts. Take the artifacts out of the equation. The artifacts are not part of this equation. Your artifacts do not balance out your power set. And it shouldn't balance out your power set. It should enhance it. If your artifact, Everyman Prototype, Mystic Symbol of the 7, if you're fire, or especially even earth or atomic, those are not enhancing your power sets, are fucking saving you. And we all fucking know it. So please keep that in mind. If you're filling this out, do not think of it as that. Take the artifacts out and look at your power set as a whole. If you cannot perform your main duty of your power set without your artifact, you are not balanced. And it may just take a moment. It may take a moment for players out there to think about that. They may need to take an artifact out and play a raid, play an alert, play some content, and look at their power set and see how they do. Content is designed. It is designed around your power, designed around the artifacts, now around allies. So if you take those out of the equation, it definitely might be harder content, but it should still be done. Just like how everybody flocks over to Heat Vision for best single target damage. The balances for powers and everything, balances for artifacts, it's all done with the iconics in mind as well. And go ahead and have your iconic, but you should still be able to complete content. You should be able to do it well without artifacts, without allies. And if you can't, then like Dodge over here says, artifacts cover for power set inefficiencies. It absolutely does. So keep that in mind. So my power set for Rage, I'm good. I feel like I'm good. My range is terrible. My melee is fine. And I am not someone who who is number 1 in the damage charts. Fuck that scoreboard. The scoreboard's a misnomer. It's better because it shows you group adds damage versus boss damage. It's great that it shows that, but there's still going to be people who do it better. There's still going to be people who are able to do it with more because they have more skill points, but they also have better artifacts because they level them up faster. Artifacts and skill points bring us the imbalance in this game. Now probably allies as well. Those are always going to be the variables when it comes to balance in the game. So you could watch a video on YouTube and see this dude do amazing damage, and you think you could do the same damage in the game, and you can't, and you start getting mad. Don't get mad. It's because he's been playing it longer. It's because he has more skill points. He has higher artifacts. He probably has maxed out fucking allies. You can go into someone's stream and easily ask what the best DPS power is, what the best tank power is, what the best there's actually no best controller. Everybody does the same thing. What the best healer is. All gonna be the same answer. You are the determining factor if that power is powerful. You are. And it may take some time to actually do some testing to see how powers are out the gate without all the fluff. But it's really the fluff that's really hiding that inefficiency. All right. So, Legion of Doom, how familiar are you with the new content on Legion of Doom? Oh, well, that fucked up. There. That's good. Okay, so how familiar are you with the new content in Legion of Doom? Like, how are we questioning that? You know, I mean, how are we putting that into a question? Like, I mean, I'm familiar enough. I'm putting a 3 and not a 4 because I haven't done the elite content and have no intention of doing the elite content. But like, I know it. I know the content itself. Like, I can I know what to do. I know what to do, guys. Don't worry. Which parts of Legion of Doom have you found exciting? Select all that apply. Okay, open world Washington, D.C. is pretty hot. I do like the new area. I do like the raid. I haven't done the elite. I hate the fucking duo because of the story. I hate the fucking duo. I don't have the Batman Who Laughs because fuck allies. I do like the new character models. I do not like the one who the alert, the one who waits. I don't like it. And I don't like it because it's in the league hall and who do we, it's Murder Machine. Batman Who Laughs is really the only boss fight. That's really the only boss fight. Murder Machine's the first boss, and that's basically more of phases of killing ads and dealing with mechanics. Batman Who Laughs is an actual boss fight dealing with mechanics and dealing with him. And then the last fight is Mr. Mixoplick. And that's really not, that's just finding a puzzle. Not a fan of the alert. I do like the new gear styles. The Martian Manhunter thing, I'm really liking it. My God, these Lantern Henchmen drop way too much. Everybody gets a Lantern Henchman. Everybody gets a Lantern Henchman. All right, which part of Legion of Doom have you found most exciting? Select one. Someone choose for me. I'm just kidding. I mean, I do like the raid a lot, actually. I do like the raid. The lowest boss fight I really find intriguing with her doing orbital strike to everyone. The sixth dimension Superman fight is pretty good behind the pillars, especially when the pillar is fucking dropping. So it's like you don't have an enraged mechanic, but you definitely have a fucking timer that we need to burn this. So it is a bit of a DPS check. Then the World Forger and the Anti-Monitor. Like, I like the raid has 4 bosses. That gave me a little hype. It gave me 4 bosses in this raid, even though it really is the only raid. That gave me 4 of them, and then also me getting pissed at everybody who keeps failing the Anti-Monitor fight with when they get knocked up and then they break out, not understanding that they do damage to everybody else. Stop breaking out. Stop it. But the raid's is probably the most exciting. I actually do like that raid. Which part of Legion of Doom have you found least exciting? The fucking duo. The fucking duo. Again, the story. Doesn't tell me why. Please. Tell me why Sinestro got this power. I need to know why. I need it told in the game. Compared to episodes over the last 2 years, how would you describe Legion of Doom's launch? That's a thinker. I mean, there's not an episode that hasn't been buggy. I am never going to say Legion of Doom was probably the worst, but it definitely gets a 2. And it's weird because it gives me only 1 through 4. Like, you can't give me like a 5. You can't give me a 5 here. Oh yeah, well the artifact glitch. Yeah, I mean they were very transparent about that too, because apparently that artifact thing has been there for like the longest, but it was only done on their side, and they've been trying to fix it. So the fact that it actually showed up on live server was kind of actually rare, and it happened. But honestly, like every episode gets a 2 in my. If they asked me this like last year during the other events, it's like every one of them gets a fucking 2. There hasn't been like one episode that didn't have issues. So does it deserve a 1? Most likely. I'm giving it a 2 because every episode, in my opinion, will get a 2 launch. Like, it's just terrible. Compared to episodes over the last 2 years, how well did the development team listen and address to your... Compared to the episodes over the last 2 years, how well did the development team listen to and address your feedback? Well, I didn't actually have any feedback besides the duo thing, and it's like, what are you going to do on that? I didn't actually even get to test this episode much either. I'm really going to go with a 2 on this as well. Like, again, and that's really due to the artifact stuff. Like, I mean, they responded as well as they did, but the artifact fortify menu going off and on, like it was bothersome. I mean, compared to the other, I mean, it wasn't that terrible. I'll still give it a 2, but this was also because of that, again, because of the artifact glitch and the other bugs that really came about. And this is also kind of hard to answer too, because the episode launched, the devs had what, maybe 2 weeks or maybe 2 weeks of working through bugs, trying to get some things fixed, and then they went on holiday. Like, it might be that we need to look at doing no more episodes. If you can't launch an episode before, like, October should be the month that you launch an episode. That's it. If you can't launch the episode in October, it has to be launched in November or December. It needs to wait until January. And it really is because of what we're experiencing here. Like, so I'm going to keep it a 2. I am going to keep it 2, but that should really be the clause there is November and December, you don't launch an episode. I mean, you can launch the seasonal event for sure, but don't launch an episode during November or December. And I really it's because of what we have here. The episode dropped. We had 2 weeks with developers, and then they went on holiday. And it's okay to go on holiday. I'm on fucking holiday, but that's like you work so hard. They worked really hard to fix the artifact thing, and then get the punishment where it was due. And now we have to wait for them to come back to the office for continue that punishment, and also continue then look at all the bugs that were reported and get those fixed. I really think so. If it's launched in October, I think the time in November and even a little bit in December should be spent time fixing bugs, and then you go and work in January, and here we are. We work on a couple more bugs that may have come through, and then we move on. And no, I'm not a developer. I'm literally just giving out that huge suggestion. That's all it was just a suggestion. That was it. Omnibus. Do you agree or disagree that Omnibus, stat scaling, unlimited rewards, new loot locks, improved the game? That's a 4. That's a fucking 4. Yes. Yes. Because it does the one thing that I've wanted to do almost the entire 10 years of this game, is it gives me a reason to stay playing the game. Before the Omnibus, you would log in on one character, you would do your stuff, which roughly would take maybe 4 or 5 hours, and then you're out. Because you're loot locked. You had nothing else to do on this character. Sure, you could run the old content, but you get no rewards from it, barely any source marks. So what are you going to do it for? You're wasting your fucking time. Unless you're going for feats, and you're going for styles. So now with the omnibus, I can play on my alts as like all day now, as you've seen me do. Like I'm playing on these characters all day. Where before I'm having to like alt switch back and forth, or I have to spend replay badges in order to replay that content over and over again. And fucking A, I don't want to spend replay badges. Because again, that's a whole money thing again. But no, the omnibus isn't perfect, but as a building block, as like that first phase, the system's good. I love the system. And I want to see more built into it. I want to see the elite part of the omnibus. I want to see that. Honestly, a little bit of it might be that it doesn't really need to be there because you just really, because again, you're using omnibus, you're using pugs. When it comes to the elite content, even the past stuff, like who's really going to try to go out there and pug an elite? I have miserable time, and I can go off in a whole different rant on the community itself when it comes to pugging. But like, yeah, it's where it is now, like it's good, and we just need to build onto it a little bit more. I definitely want to see some like bonus. I mean, we got the omnibus weekly missions, the weekly duos alerts in the raid. Like that mission, that's great, but want to see a little bit more done with the omnibus, probably on a reward scale a little bit. And that's because I'm also just a little greedy, maybe. Let's see. Next one is when playing omnibus content, do you usually feel weak or powerful? I'm gonna say a little bit of a 3, and it's because like miles may vary. Because as you've seen, like even on my munitions tune out the gate, my munitions tune does fucking good damage. Like it does great damage, and I was working to build on my artifacts, and I was getting better. I'm now moving over to my hardlight tune, and I'm definitely feeling my fucking weakness there. But I will say, when it comes to weak or powerful playing that scaled content, I have not really felt like I was in fucking danger unless someone wasn't doing their role properly. I'm not saying that we went into like an entire straight DPS role. You still need your tank, healer, and controller. But like, I haven't felt weak. I haven't felt like I wasn't doing my part. I wasn't pulling, doing it. So I never felt that weakness that other players felt. And that's on them, not on me. It's like, I feel fine. So hopefully other people, and please, even the people who definitely felt weak, please leave that feedback about why you felt weak and such, So that's actually said about how you felt. But yeah, for me, I haven't felt that weakness, but I also haven't found that power that I felt that weakness with, besides like my Hardlight team right now. Let's see, there are certain instances that are very OP from what I ran. I will say, oh my god, what did I fucking play? Metal Part 2 Batscape Duo. The Batscape Duo still feels terrible. Oh my god, I actually did wipe on the final boss for that. And even during the second boss, that was a struggle. Like I popped my Kohler super, super quickly and timed out great that I was able to finish it. But it was like slimmer that I was gonna wipe that thing. But the Batscape Duo, that's definitely still a hard one to do. So if there are still content, duos and whatever, that you're still experiencing that, please report that so the developers can look at that content and look to make sure it's getting scaled right. Next. What's my current membership subscription status? I am currently subscribed. How likely are you to begin or continue a membership next month? Highly fucking likely, because I want my rewards. Have you experienced a crash or disconnect in the last 30 days? Honestly, yes, I actually have. And my crash and disconnect, let me explain that too, just in case the developers are watching. Hey guys. My launch pad, the launcher, it actually just stalls. Like you get your little icon that's loading and then it just freezes. And it happens to me on Steam. It happens to me through the direct download. and I just have to keep closing it and then reopening the launcher. And sometimes, like, literally, that crash, like, it just doesn't fucking happen. And this started, like, right there, like, I want to say November. Like, D says, I experienced some early in December, but after that, not as much, so it still counts. Yeah. So, I mean, D's experiencing it a little bit, but I'm definitely feeling it a lot. Which platform do you primarily play DCO on? PC, baby. Fix your economy. How satisfied are you playing DC Universe Online? I'm at a 3. It's not a 4, literally because of the monetization. The monetization and not feeling rewarded with leveling artifacts and allies, that really kills me. It actually is, and it still, to this day, fucking kills me. Let's see. Blue Division High first before the DLC. PC player. I crashed every 2 to 3 hours. It's gotten better now. Oh, well, good. Well, Blue Division on Twitch, it's gotten much better. Do you know why it's gotten better, or did it just like magically just start working? Because honestly, you say like before the DLC on the PC, you crashed every 2 to 3 hours. It's gotten better now. When did it get starting better? Because the developers can then look at that time frame to see it's like, oh, he started disconnecting here only every few days. Oh my god. Well, that's not too bad. Let's see. I also did mention your criticism of not showing / telling us more about Jon Stewart and the exclusion of Apex Lex. Yeah, so do you have any other thoughts you would like to share with the team? Honestly, that's one of the beauties about this too is that I actually voiced everything out in this video. So even you're going to get this survey, there's a video to go along with it. I still have, it's been now 11 years. It's been 11 years. I still have faith in the development team. I might have hit and disapprove, but it's literally because of those 2 or 3 things. Like the artifacts and allies, monetization, like it just kills it. And I am a person who's definitely there for the grind. I absolutely am. But the grind doesn't make sense if the progression is not there. And you would honestly have to look at progression within your entire year because of how the DLCs are, but how the episodes are. Because the progression is episode to episode to episode. Instead, the progression should be within the episode. That you do your solos, you do your duos, you get some gear. You shouldn't be able to go from episode 42 to straight into episode 43 without playing episode 43 content to get the gear from that content. And that's what sucks. That really does. So I don't know if it really needs to be where not every episode we get new gear. Maybe every episode we have the first episode to start the changes. And then we have that, this is your launch, the episode launch gear. We have that Future Warden, we got Martian Manhunter stuff. This is our gear. And then we're going through this episode. The next episode is just a continuation of the story. But it doesn't give us new gear to chase. Instead, it gives us just new content. And the gear that we have, the CR gets a max. And it's like, all right, the CR is being increased. The IM level for that gear is being increased now. And here's some new styles that you can get with this episode currency. So there needs to be a sense of progression. There needs to be a sense of story building within a confined episode. And even if we have this episode, and the developers, you guys have done a great job with adding like the bonus weeks. Like, oh, we're adding a new boss to the open world. We're adding new rewards to the vendor. Like, those are fantastic, but we're still missing the content. Because now we're still expected to keep running this thing. And even the mentality of this game is when that new boss drops, If you do not do that boss within the first 2 weeks, you don't join one of these grind fests out there that are doing these bosses, after 2 weeks, ghost town. No one's doing it. No one's working towards that feat. And it's just dead. You might be lucky and get a couple of groups out there that are doing old boss runs. Like, I know Sophie, Dookie and Sophie we're doing that today, I think. I saw him say his title was actually Bounties. But it's a ghost town when it comes to that stuff. Because everybody grinds it in that first 2 weeks, hardcore, burns themselves out, and they don't want to touch it anymore. And they just don't. So, I'm probably going to still type up some thoughts on this, but I've really given a lot of my thoughts in this video. And honestly, even might be like, the thoughts are going to be, look, here's the video. And if you don't want to watch the video, I'm not going to be hurt. I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to be offended. But I did a lot of thinking on this. So just watch the video. Yeah, so I know the developers are doing a good job. There's things that I, of course, not going to like, and no one's not going to like everything about it. My friend and I are having an argument on WWE versus AEW, and he's wrong, I'm right. That's just the end of the story for it. Love you, Donald. But that's just where we are. You're not going to like everything, and the things that you don't like, don't do it. I don't need to have my artifacts at 160. I don't need to have my artifacts at 200. I don't need to run elite content. I don't need to artifact swap. That's probably the biggest fucking thing. Fix the fucking this tactical swapping bullshit. Like, just get fucking rid of it. Like, how cheap do you have to fucking be? Like, I get it. Everybody, all these people, we leveled up their artifacts to 200. We should be able to use them. Yeah, if you're using tax swapping, then just put a fucking fourth slot in there. Figure it out, guys. Figure it out. Fuck. You shouldn't have to fucking open up your inventory, swap to another artifact just to get the bonus for it. And it was like, well, what the fuck is the point of having a maximum of 3 if you can have the fucking tax swapping? Lock that shit down. You can't change it in combat and call it a goddamn day. They might as well just give us like 4th, 5th, 6th, like just give us all the fucking slots for every artifact if they're not going to fix this tax swapping thing. That's probably the biggest thing right there. So fix tax swapping. That's probably what I'm typing there. But I'm going to leave my survey at that because I have this great video, and this video I'm going to put into the share with the team here. So thanks for watching, and twitch.tv/TrexLight. This is where I'm streaming at until I can get back onto YouTube. I went to OBS and I still haven't figured that system out yet.